Good morning, or actually it is midday, so good early afternoon. I just finished up meeting with the guy that I bought the CDs from a few months ago, who was getting rid of hundreds of books. Said he had about 700, he probably had closer to 1,000, but he had accumulated those over several years. So he was just trying to get them out and move on with life, basically, try to get something for him. He gave me a text and said, you know, if I was interested, so I went over, and he was open to me cherry picking, which I thought was awesome, because I just by quick glance, because he had sent me photos, at the photos, and then when I got there, I could tell a quick glance that a lot of them, probably half or not, if not more, it wasn't even worth looking at them, because either they were really old books that I just don't mess with. She had a lot of the smaller paperbacks, a lot of nonfiction, but still, you know, a lot of that stuff doesn't really, from what I found, doesn't do that well. But at any rate, he still had many boxes of paperbacks, sort of trade paperbacks, newer ones that are definitely worth looking up, school related, that sort of thing. A lot of nonfiction, so it wasn't too much fiction. There was some literature, some classic literature, but most of it was nonfiction. So I spent about an hour looking through it, and I found 46 books that are worth selling on Amazon, and I paid $23, so it was a great deal. Broke down to 50 cents a book. Here we go, guys. Book Bandit is back once again. So you remember I told you yesterday about the guy who was looking to unload 700 books, probably closer to 1,000 books. Well, I went over and we met, and he said it was fine if I cherry picked. Gave me a price, and I went through them, and here we go. I got 46 books. Just 3 hardbacks, and the rest are paperback. So spent $23 on 46 books. So that comes out to 50 cents a book. And mostly nonfiction, a couple of fiction. A couple of really good ones here. Overall, just some solid books that should move pretty decently. And if you saw these here, would you look them up? They were in a box of a bunch of the smaller ones, and most of them I didn't bother with, but these stood out to me, and they're in Spanish. And the ranks are probably on average close to 2 million, but there aren't any FBA sellers, and they're all going for between $15 and $20, around that range. So they'll be a little bit slower, but won't be too much competition. You just never know. So you gotta look at stuff. You know, this just stood out, being all in black, and it just looked different. So I looked them up. It was almost like going to a book sale, but being the only one that showed up. Because there were a lot of books. It was a nice haul. It was further proof of the importance of making connections, how important those connections can be, and in contacting people on Craigslist or letting people know what you do. This one was because I responded to the ad on Craigslist for the CDs, and because of that, I was able to look through his books, and he said, you know, if he comes across more CDs, he'll let me know. So it's just about building up those relationships, and he's the first one, and I'm going to keep on working towards getting more relationships like that, so that I can build up the network and people can contact me with books and CDs and records and whatever it may be. So it felt really good to be able to nurture that relationship, as well as just get a chance to get almost 50 books without having to go to a huge book sale and deal with all the other sellers and everybody else going. There were definitely a good amount of the 46 books that are going for over 20 bucks. I found a few school books that are going for probably 30 plus, and I found one book in particular. I don't remember right now what the title was, but all of the listings, and there were not that many, started at $100, even the merchant fulfilled. And I believe there was one FBA offer on there, and the rank wasn't dramatic. You know, I think it was in the millions. 50 cents for a book that could potentially sell for over $100. It was exciting. That was the most valuable, potentially profitable book in the bunch. But there was enough to where it was definitely worth it. And I got as many as I could because I wanted to, you know, that's the thing, I wanted to nurture the relationship. I want him to, you know, I want to help him out. Contact me when he has these CDs and whatnot, because he said this is the last time he's going to have books. So anyway, it was great. And it's definitely worth finding these relationships. Imagine 4 or 5 people that I know like this, that's the goal, so that they can continuously contact me and I can always have an influx of new products. What I would like is that I have enough contacts to where every single month I'm getting contacted by somebody that has books, CDs, records, whatever it may be, so I don't have to always be going out there. So now I got the CD lot where I'm going to sell probably 100, close to 150 of those I'm going to be able to sell on Amazon. Then I got these books, 46 books. So it's been going really well in that respect, getting these bulk buys and making these contacts. So I'm just picturing in my head, hopefully maybe next year, if I can continue to make make these connections, and it's a numbers game, to have at least a few people that can contact me regularly. That's the idea, that the books come to you, the items come to you to sell. You don't have to always go out there and get them, because they're everywhere, right? Books are all over the place, CDs are all over the place. People are looking to get rid of them, make a little bit of money off of them, and that's a great opportunity for us to get in between them and Amazon. So I'm excited to get more books in, so I can build up my book inventory more in anticipation of August. It's going to be a crazy time in August, so I really want to start. I'm always focused on books, but I want to try to laser in on books as much as I can in the next 4 months or so, in anticipation of back to school. This is a good time now that May is starting, and which means some schools are going to be getting out soon. So in the next month or so, there's going to be a lot more books hitting the thrift stores and garage sales, posted online. Students looking to get rid of stuff. Keep that in mind also. Hopefully you're having a good Saturday and you were able to get some sourcing done to send in some shipments this upcoming week. As always, remember, keep booking.